Imagine discovering a human species that lived alongside Neanderthals and modern humans, yet vanished without a trace, leaving behind secrets that rewrite everything we thought we knew about human evolution. What hidden story did this ancient human hold? And why has history almost forgotten them? Today, we uncover the shocking truth about the ancient human you were never told about. For decades, our understanding of human history seemed straightforward. Homo sapiens emerged, Neanderthals walked alongside them, and the story unfolded from there. But hidden deep in remote caves and ancient sediments, scientists uncovered bones that didn't quite fit the narrative. These belonged to an ancient human species long forgotten, one that challenges everything we thought we knew. This species, often overshadowed by the more famous Neanderthals and modern humans, has physical features that both surprise and unsettle researchers. Their skulls are smaller yet oddly shaped, with a mix of primitive and modern traits. Their bodies were built for endurance and survival in harsh climates. Where exactly they lived is still being debated, but clues point to regions in Asia and possibly parts of Europe. The discovery of this lost cousin shook the scientific world. They were not just another branch on the family tree, they may have interbred with other humans, sharing genes that persist in us today. But their story was buried under layers of time, mystery, and even some skepticism. This chapter begins by exploring who this ancient human really was, tracing their place in our shared past and setting the stage for a story of survival, mystery, and forgotten legacy. The ancient human species at the heart of this story is known to science as the Denisovans. First discovered in 2010 in a remote Siberian cave called Denisova, their existence was revealed by just a few tiny fragments, an adult finger bone and a few teeth. Yet, these small pieces shattered old assumptions and opened a floodgate of new questions. Denisovans share traits with both Neanderthals and modern humans, but they were distinct. Their DNA showed they had interbred not only with Neanderthals but also with Homo sapiens, meaning that many people alive today carry traces of their genes, especially populations in Asia and Oceania. What made Denisovans so fascinating wasn't just their genetics but what their remains hinted at: a species capable of advanced survival in some of the most challenging environments on Earth. These ancient humans lived through freezing ice ages, survived predators, and adapted to landscapes that would kill an unprepared modern human. Though much remains unknown, the Denisovans force us to rethink the story of human evolution. They were not a minor footnote but a powerful player in the prehistoric drama, a species with secrets we are only beginning to uncover. The Denisovans' story doesn't end with just their discovery. Their presence in the human family tree has profound implications. Genetic studies show that Denisovan DNA contributed to the immune systems and high-altitude adaptations of modern populations, such as Tibetans, highlighting a legacy that still affects us today. Yet, physical evidence of Denisovans remains frustratingly sparse. Aside from the initial finds, only a handful of bones and teeth have been attributed to them. Their skulls, facial features, and full anatomy remain largely a mystery, sparking debates and theories about their appearance and lifestyle. Some researchers speculate they might have had cultural traits rivaling or even surpassing Neanderthals, but without extensive fossils or artifacts, it's difficult to be certain. Their enigmatic nature fuels curiosity. Who were they really? How did they live? And why have they been almost erased from the pages of history? This chapter sets the foundation for exploring these questions further, diving into the fossil discoveries, survival tactics, and the fascinating, forgotten world of this ancient human you were never told about. The Denisovan story truly began to unfold with the discovery of that tiny finger bone in Denisova Cave, Siberia. At first glance, it seemed insignificant, just a fragment. But DNA extracted from it revealed something extraordinary: a new human species. This was unlike anything scientists had expected. What makes these fossil finds shocking isn't just their rarity, but what they reveal about ancient human diversity. For years, Neanderthals and Homo sapiens were thought to be the only humans roaming Eurasia. The Denisovans turned that idea upside down. Subsequent finds in the same cave, including teeth and a jawbone found far away in Tibet, confirmed their wide geographic range. The teeth were unusually large and distinct, unlike Neanderthal or modern human teeth, while the jawbone's robust shape hinted at a powerful, hardy species. These discoveries challenged researchers to rethink ancient migration and interaction patterns. Denisovans weren't isolated. They mingled and interbred with other humans, leaving genetic footprints in modern populations. The mystery deepens with the scarcity of artifacts. Unlike Neanderthals, whose campsites and tools are well documented, Denisovan sites remain elusive. This absence raises questions. Were they a secretive species? Did they possess culture or technology? The shock lies in what remains unknown, and what these fossils might still tell us. Following the initial discovery in Denisova cave, scientists scoured the region for more clues. The sparse fossil record was frustratingly limited, but each new find added pieces to the puzzle. For example, a robust jawbone unearthed in the Tibetan Plateau offered the first glimpse of Denisovans outside Siberia, suggesting they adapted to high-altitude, low-oxygen environments, a feat modern humans only achieved much later. This adaptation is astonishing. It implies Denisovans not only survived harsh ice age conditions but thrived in extreme landscapes where few others could. Their physiology had to be uniquely suited for these challenges, which modern genetic studies now confirm. Yet the fossils themselves raise eerie questions. Some of the bones exhibit a strange mix of archaic and modern traits that don't fit neatly into known categories. Teeth larger than Neanderthals, finger bones slender but robust, and skull fragments with unknown features hint at a species that defies easy classification. These unsettling clues force us to confront how little we truly know about our ancient relatives. Each fossil find pulls back the curtain on a hidden world of prehistoric humans whose stories have been overshadowed and overlooked for too long. But it's not just the fossils themselves that shock scientists, it's what they reveal through DNA. The Denisovan genetic code showed a surprising level of complexity and interbreeding with other ancient humans. They shared genes with Neanderthals and, more astonishingly, with modern humans, especially those in Asia and Oceania. This means the Denisovans weren't isolated relics of the past. They actively interacted with other humans. Some of their DNA helped modern populations adapt to new environments, like the gene that helps Tibetans live at high altitudes. It's a living legacy hidden within our own bodies. Despite these breakthroughs, many questions remain. Why are Denisovan fossils so rare? Why haven't we found more of their settlements or tools? Could there be entire populations still buried beneath ice or soil, waiting to rewrite history again? The shock of their existence is not just in what we've uncovered but in how much we've yet to learn. Denisovans force us to rethink the human story as messy, complicated, and full of surprises, far from the neat linear tale we once believed. Living thousands of years ago wasn't easy for anyone, but for the Denisovans, survival meant facing some of the harshest environments known to prehistoric humans. From the icy tundras of Siberia to the thin air of the Tibetan Plateau, these ancient humans thrived where many others couldn't. Imagine waking up every day to biting cold, scarce food and lurking predators. Denisovans had to master not only the brutal climate but also compete with Neanderthals and emerging Homo sapiens for resources. Their survival strategies reveal a species both tough and adaptable. Archaeologists believe Denisovans developed advanced tools and hunting techniques suited for their environment. Though actual artifacts are rare, traces suggest they fashioned sophisticated stone blades, possibly even early forms of jewelry, indicating not just survival but cultural complexity. Adaptation went beyond tools. Genetic evidence points to physiological traits, like those aiding high-altitude survival, that allowed them to cope with low oxygen levels and freezing temperatures. Their bodies were built to endure long winters and scarce food, setting them apart in the prehistoric world. This part uncovers the raw struggle and grit it took for Denisovans to survive on Earth's coldest frontiers, painting a vivid picture of life on the edge. The Denisovans' environment was a battleground, where every day was a test of endurance. Ice Age conditions meant temperatures that could plunge far below freezing. Food was scarce and shelter was essential for survival. They had to rely on more than just brute strength, they needed cleverness and innovation. Though direct evidence of Denisovan tools is limited, discoveries at Denisova cave hint at sophisticated craftsmanship. Stone blades found here are sharper and more refined than many contemporary tools used by other ancient humans. These tools weren't just for hunting. They likely helped in processing hides for clothing, crucial in freezing climates. Survival also depended on understanding animal behavior. Denisovans hunted large mammals such as woolly mammoths and reindeer, using coordinated strategies. They may have used fire not only for warmth but to cook food, making tough meats more digestible and safer to eat. The harsh world also demanded social cooperation. To endure long winters and predators, Denisovans likely lived in small, close-knit groups. Sharing resources, caring for the injured, and passing down knowledge would have been essential behaviors that ensured their survival against all odds. This part digs deeper into the daily lives of Denisovans, revealing a story of resilience shaped by an unforgiving world. But survival wasn't just about battling the cold or hunting. It was about outsmarting rival species competing for the same resources. Denisovans shared their habitats with Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens, each vying for dominance in an unforgiving landscape. Evidence suggests that Denisovans may have used strategic alliances or territorial behaviors to maintain their hold on critical resources like water sources and hunting grounds. Their ability to adapt genetically to extreme conditions gave them an edge, but constant pressure from competitors was a deadly challenge. Their social bonds likely played a huge role too. Groups probably relied on communication and cooperation to hunt larger prey, defend their shelters, and care for the vulnerable. These social structures would have been essential to survive predators and the harsh climate. Despite their strength and cleverness, Denisovans eventually faded into obscurity. Whether overwhelmed by climate changes, competition, or assimilation into other human groups, their extinction remains a mystery. Yet, their story of survival on Earth's harshest edges remains a powerful testament to human adaptability and endurance. What if I told you that a mysterious, almost invisible ancient cousin of ours left a lasting mark inside your very DNA? That's exactly what happened with the Denisovans. Though their bones are rare and their story shadowy, their genetic legacy lives on, embedded in millions of modern humans around the world. Scientists were stunned when they first sequenced the Denisovan genome. It revealed surprising interbreeding between Denisovans, Neanderthals, and early Homo sapiens. This gene flow wasn't just a passing curiosity, it shaped vital human traits, influencing our ability to survive and adapt. For example, a key Denisovan gene helps people living in the high altitudes of Tibet breathe more easily in thin air. This adaptation gave an enormous survival advantage where oxygen is scarce. Without it, thriving in such environments would be almost impossible. Beyond high-altitude adaptation, Denisovan genes may have influenced immune system function, helping modern humans fight diseases more effectively. This hidden genetic inheritance points to a deeper, interconnected story of survival and evolution, revealing how ancient humans shaped our biology in ways we are only beginning to understand. Delving deeper into Denisovan DNA reveals a surprising complexity in our shared history. Their genes aren't evenly spread across all humans. Instead, specific populations, especially those in Melanesia, Papua New Guinea, and parts of Southeast Asia, carry up to 5% Denisovan DNA. This selective inheritance hints at the critical advantages these genes provided in those environments. One striking example is the EPS1 gene variant found in Tibetans, directly linked to Denisovan ancestry. This gene regulates how the body responds to low oxygen levels, allowing people to function normally at altitudes above 13,000 feet. Without it, life in the Himalayas would be nearly impossible, demonstrating the profound impact of ancient gene flow on modern survival. But genetic influence goes beyond altitude. Denisovan DNA has been linked to immune system responses, potentially helping early modern humans fend off new pathogens encountered as they spread across the globe. These genetic gifts may have been the difference between life and death in hostile environments, allowing early humans to thrive where others failed. Understanding how Denisovan DNA shapes modern humans forces us to reconsider what it means to be fully Homo sapiens. We are, in many ways, walking mosaics of ancient encounters, carrying legacies of survival etched into our very genes. The story of Denisovan genes doesn't end with survival traits, it also raises new questions about identity and humanity. If fragments of Denisovan DNA run through millions of people today, what does that say about the boundaries between ancient species? For decades, scientists viewed Neanderthals and Denisovans as separate, extinct branches on the human family tree. Now, genetic evidence blurs those lines. Interbreeding wasn't rare, it was common. This means the story of human evolution is not a straight line but a tangled web of connections, exchanges, and shared histories. Some researchers even speculate that traits like immune system responses, skin pigmentation, or even susceptibility to certain diseases could be influenced by this ancient legacy. In other words, parts of what makes us human, our strengths, vulnerabilities, even our appearances, may be gifts from these forgotten cousins. This genetic puzzle challenges us to rethink what human truly means. We are not just descendants of a single species but a living blend of ancient encounters. Denisovans, once nearly invisible in the fossil record, now shine as a crucial piece in the puzzle of our origins. The sudden disappearance of the Denisovans remains one of the most haunting mysteries in prehistoric history. Despite their genetic legacy and scattered fossils, these ancient humans vanished without a clear trace. What caused this extinction? Was it climate change, competition, or something even more sinister? One theory points to the dramatic climate shifts during the last ice age. As glaciers advanced and retreated, habitats shrank, forcing Denisovans into ever smaller refuges. Food became scarce, and survival grew harder with each passing generation. Unlike modern humans who developed diverse strategies and technologies, Denisovans may have struggled to adapt quickly enough. Another possibility is competition with Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. As modern humans expanded into Denisovan territories, direct conflict or resource competition could have driven them to extinction. Early humans had advantages like complex language, better tools, and larger social networks, key factors in survival battles. But some scientists propose a darker idea: disease. Interactions between species might have introduced new pathogens, to which Denisovans had no immunity. These invisible killers could have wiped out entire populations before they left any physical trace. Despite these theories, the real story may never be fully known. The Denisovans' fate remains buried deep in time, a chilling reminder of how fragile survival was for our ancient cousins. Beyond climate and competition, some researchers suspect that Denisovans face challenges from internal population dynamics. Small, isolated groups often suffer from inbreeding and genetic bottlenecks, which can reduce genetic diversity and resilience. With fewer individuals surviving harsh conditions, their ability to adapt dwindled sharply. Archaeological records show that Denisovan populations were never as large or widespread as those of Neanderthals or modern humans. This limited presence made them vulnerable to environmental disruptions. Even minor ecological changes could have catastrophic effects on their survival chances. Meanwhile, Homo sapiens were rapidly evolving culturally and technologically, developing more efficient hunting tools, social structures, and the use of symbols and art. These advances likely gave modern humans a major edge over Denisovans. The competition wasn't just physical, it was cognitive and cultural. Yet, Denisovans left behind an enigmatic legacy. Their DNA mingled with ours, but their physical presence faded. Some scholars argue they weren't entirely wiped out but absorbed into modern human populations through interbreeding. This gradual assimilation might explain why no distinct Denisovan fossils appear after a certain point. The disappearance of Denisovans, then, may be less of a dramatic extinction and more of a quiet fading into the broader human story, an ancient thread woven into the fabric of our own existence. Another compelling theory about Denisovan extinction involves the impact of rapidly changing ecosystems. The end of the Ice Age brought not only warming temperatures but also the arrival of new species, both animals and humans, that reshaped the food chains and competition landscapes. Denisovans, specialized for cold and rugged environments, may have found themselves outmatched in these new conditions. As forests replaced tundra and large Ice Age mammals disappeared, their traditional food sources vanished. Unlike Homo sapiens, who adapted by diversifying diets and inventing new tools, Denisovans might have been too specialized to pivot quickly. Moreover, the possibility of violent encounters can't be ignored. Fossil evidence shows that ancient human species sometimes clashed fiercely. Competition for resources, territory, and mates might have escalated to deadly conflict. If Denisovans were fewer in number, even a few battles could have devastating effects. What's truly haunting is that Denisovans left behind only fragments: teeth, a finger bone, and a few tools, offering glimpses but no clear answers. Their story ends abruptly in the archaeological record, leaving scientists piecing together clues from genetics and sparse fossils. The Denisovans' disappearance is a stark reminder: survival in the prehistoric world was never guaranteed. Their fate urges us to appreciate the fragile threads that held early human history together and marvel at the resilience it took to survive. The discovery of Denisovans was like opening a time capsule, one that continues to reveal surprising secrets with every new find. But the story is far from over. Scientists are still uncovering new Denisovan fossils and artifacts that could rewrite what we know about human evolution. Recent digs in Asia, especially in Siberia and Southeast Asia, hint that Denisovans may have occupied a much wider area than once thought. Fragmentary bones and teeth discovered far from the original Denisova caves suggest they adapted to diverse environments, from cold mountainous regions to tropical forests. Cutting-edge technology plays a huge role in these breakthroughs. Advances in DNA sequencing allow researchers to extract genetic material from even the tiniest bone fragments. This means new Denisovan specimens may be identified without complete skeletons, unlocking mysteries previously thought unsolvable. Future discoveries could answer lingering questions. How did Denisovans interact with other human species? What cultural practices did they have? And crucially, how did their genetic legacy shape the rise of modern humans? The hunt for Denisovan clues continues to push the boundaries of science and archaeology, promising astonishing revelations about our ancient cousins and the tangled branches of our family tree. As research accelerates, scientists are uncovering surprising new evidence that challenges long-held assumptions about Denisovans. For example, recent findings suggest they might have developed their own unique tools and cultural practices, distinct from Neanderthals and modern humans. Artifacts like sophisticated stone tools and jewelry hint at a complex, intelligent species capable of symbolic thinking and artistry, traits once believed exclusive to Homo sapiens. If true, this rewrites the narrative that Denisovans were primitive or lesser beings. Genetic studies also reveal tantalizing clues about their physical traits. Denisovans may have had distinctive features, perhaps even darker skin or different facial structures, showing a diversity of appearances among ancient humans that we are only beginning to grasp. The ongoing search for Denisovan remains in new locations may uncover entire populations previously unknown to science. Each new discovery adds layers to the story, showing how these ancient humans adapted and thrived in a variety of climates and ecosystems. All this research not only illuminates Denisovan life but also sheds light on the broader picture of human evolution. It forces us to reconsider what it means to be human and appreciate the complex web of ancestors who paved the way for us. Looking ahead, the quest to uncover more about Denisovans is pushing scientists into exciting new frontiers. Techniques like environmental DNA, EDNA, analysis, where traces of genetic material are extracted from soil or sediments, allow researchers to detect Denisovan presence without a single bone in sight. This revolutionary approach could reveal where Denisovans lived and interacted with other species, filling gaps left by the fossil record. Furthermore, advances in imaging and dating technology improve our ability to analyze fossils in unprecedented detail. 3D reconstructions and microscopic analysis uncover clues about Denisovan anatomy, health, and lifestyle, while more precise dating methods pin down when and where they lived. Collaborative international projects are also key. Shared databases and joint expeditions help scientists piece together Denisovan history from disparate finds across Asia and beyond. But beyond science, Denisovan discoveries captivate our imagination. They remind us that human history is far richer and more tangled than the simple stories we once told. Each new fragment, gene, or artifact reshapes our understanding of who we are and where we come from. The Denisovans may be extinct, but their legacy lives on in us, a silent testament to survival, adaptation, and the mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. The story of the Denisovans is a powerful reminder that our past is far stranger and more complex than we ever imagined. These forgotten cousins shaped who we are in ways we're only beginning to understand, through their genes, their survival struggles, and their mysterious disappearance. They challenge everything we thought we knew about human history. What's truly awe-inspiring is how much we still don't know. The Denisovans are a puzzle with missing pieces, inviting us to keep digging, questioning, and exploring. Each discovery forces us to rethink our place in the ancient world, not as isolated survivors but as part of a vast, interconnected family. If this journey into the unknown sparked your curiosity, hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing stories from our prehistoric past. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you find most shocking about the Denisovans? And don't forget to check out our other videos that dive even deeper into the incredible saga of early humans. Because the past isn't just history, it's the key to understanding ourselves today.